Viniveshayantam
Mukharvinde
Viniveshayantam
Vatasya Patra Sapute Shayanam
Vatasya
Putra
Patrasya
Sapute
Pute
Sayanam
Shayanam
Udashayanam
Balam Mukundam Manasa Smarami.
Alam
Kundam
Mukundam
Manasa
Manasa
Smarami.
Smarami.
Hare Krishna. Thank you all for joining. So, I was asked to talk about on 642 shloka. Let me share my screen. 1 second. I'm sorry I joined late because I got a call in the last minute from my work. And I forgot at 6:09, I realized I have to give class. I told them I'm dropping off the call. So, okay, share screen. Okay, let me know when you're able to see my screen. Are you able to see it? Are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll log into 642. Okay, so I just want to give the synopsis before up to 642 in a nutshell into 3 minutes. Okay, the sixth chapter is entitled as Dhyana Yoga, and we have spoken several times how Dhyana Yoga started. Like, Krishna is explaining the how to achieve the Supreme Personality of Godhead to the Ashtanga Yoga process. Okay, and finally, after hearing this message from Lord Krishna, Lord Sri Krishna, Supreme Personality of Godhead Govinda, the Arjuna was saying that, this looks like a very difficult for me. Arjuna admitted that statement 5,000 years back. It looks like very difficult for me. In that, age of Dwapara, when things are much better than what we have today, that time itself, Arjuna admitted is very difficult to follow that process. So now what to speak of now? It's highly impossible for us to follow the Ashtanga Yoga process. Then Arjuna comes and he says so many shlokas we have seen. I can control the wind or the seed, but not my mind, etc., etc. Then Krishna came back, honestly admitted, yes, Arjuna, what you're speaking. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
Prabhuji.
So,
Very clear.
and then Krishna honestly came, yes, Arjuna, I agree what you're saying. Because Krishna is above these three modes of material nature. Either Krishna is in the battlefield of Kurukshetra or in the drawing room. His mind is not disturbed because the Supreme Lord. But whereas you and I, we are conditioned. We are conditioned by three modes of material nature. So our moods, our things will change as per the things happening outside external forces effect on our mind, but not for Krishna. Then Krishna came back and admitted, yes, Arjuna, what you said, absolutely I agree, but I can give you two recommendations. What are the two recommendations Krishna gave to Arjuna on this chapter? Anybody recall? So he said, one is Abhyasena tu Kaunteya. He said that by practice and detachment. Am I correct? These two he suggested to Arjuna. Yes, Arjuna, it is very difficult, but there is a way you can be attached to Krishna by two ways, by practice and by attachment. How that happens? So he said, practice may by what is the practice? The practice by devotional service to Krishna. When you say practice means that he said engaging your senses for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Rupa Goswami beautifully explains in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, right, very clearly. Devotion, there is no word called devotion. It doesn't have any meaning. It's called devotional service. Devotion is like a word very abstract, but devotional service, the definition is clearly defined by Rupa Goswami. Prabhupada said that engaging your senses for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. When you engage your senses that way for the Supreme Lord, your mind automatically becomes controlled, because mind is a central hub location for the desires. Okay. and it sometimes it supersedes intelligence. Okay, it dictates intelligence sometimes in case of non-devotees. So what we should do is that engage our senses for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna. That's what we did yesterday in the festival. Everybody was joyous. We find different techniques to glorify the Lord. How Radharani and Shyam Sundar was pretended as if they're singing in the swing. How devotees have invented so many ways to present them to the devotees for the pleasure of the Supreme Lord. Okay, it was surprising to me, everyone, how they have made arrangement for Radha Shyam Sundar look up here and sitting on the jewel. You all agree with me? Yesterday's?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, so that is how devotees are always there to please the transcendentals, please the Supreme Lord. So that's why. So we are thinking about Lord. We are making arrangements for the Lord, and we are working with the festival. I was busy, I didn't come Saturday because I was busy in talking people, raising donations. That is also part of the. We need Lakshmi also for our temple to run. So each devotee is very busy in their own way to please Krishna, whatever capacity they are able to finish. That is what Rupa Goswami says. Use our senses for the engagement of the Supreme Lord. So when you engage your senses for the Supreme Lord, then our mind comes under control. So that is what Krishna is telling Arjuna. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to become attached to me. Think about me. What is that? Become my devotee. Surrender unto me, you will be delivered from me. Krishna is telling time and again in Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam shlokas, explaining very beautifully. Your duty is to just attach to me, I will take care of it. And also Rupa Goswami Prabhupada explains the first shloka in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Anyabhilashta Shunyam, Jnana Karmadi Anatutam, Anukula Yena Krishna Anushilanam, Bhakti Uttamam. Krishna beautifully putting that, Jnana, Karma, etc. All these things are beyond Bhakti. Bhakti is the Tamam. Anya Abhilashta Shunyam. I don't have any other interest other than serving Lord Sri Krishna. When you come to this engaging, all starts from engaging our senses. Shravanam. Prahlad Maharaj nicely put Navavida Bhakti. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atma Nivedanam. We are not perfect in any one of them, but we do everything little, then we purify our senses and purify our existence, purify our consciousness to elevate to focus on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that's what Krishna explained to Arjuna very beautifully. Okay, Abhyasena tu Kaunteya, and detachment. When Arjuna asked the question, so Krishna gave solution answers, and also he told how we should be involved in bhakti. Now Arjuna comes back and asks. Arjuna asked all the questions what we were supposed to ask on behalf of us. He's representing us, Arjuna. Okay, it's not that Arjuna is a non-devotee. No, he was put in the Yogamaya potency for time being. He's pretending as if he is a non-devotee, just like you and me. And he's asking questions for the benefit of you and me. Okay, that's the stand here. So then Arjuna comes back. Okay, what happens if somebody takes up the devotional practice of Supreme Lord Krishna, but they are not able to finish it off? Okay, we all have questions about, okay, if I take a Diksha, if I don't take a Diksha, if I come to Krishna consciousness, if I don't finish in this lifetime, what happens? This is the biggest question I also get in Bhakti Rakshas. People ask, okay, I took up this process. Sometimes in some families, some issues, husband doesn't cooperate, wife doesn't cooperate. Sometimes husband, wife cooperates, kids doesn't cooperate. There are cases where parents have to stop coming to Bhakti Rakshas because of kids. Okay, there are several instances where these things happen to the people. So in that case, Krishna gives very beautiful guarantee. Okay, and I will start that guarantee today morning. Bhagavatam also I was putting the same shloka. Luckily, Srimad Prabhu had the same. Look at that. When we have desire to serve Krishna, the orders come so easily that you don't have to work hard. Whatever you spoke in the morning, you can speak in the evening also. Krishna knows, these people have no time. They're very IT folks and they don't have time. So Krishna, look at that. The Lord is so wonderful, so beautiful. He doesn't even give trouble to us. Hey, he's speaking about me. Let him give very easy topic. That's how Krishna is works. He will respond. He is responsive. That's why, tears comes when I say these words to Lord Sri Krishna. How wonderful Lord is. He doesn't even give trouble to his devotees. Okay. And I referred this shloka today morning also. Vimal Ru on the call, he is a Sakshi here for witness. I said, whatever this very famous shloka, Neha, can everybody recite, unmute your mics, please, for some time and repeat after me. Neha Vikramanasoste
Neha Vikramanasote
Satyavayo na vidyate
Satyavayo na
Satyavayo na
vidyate
vidyate
Alpamapyasya dharmasya
Salpamapi yasya dharmasya
Dharmasya
Trayate mahato bhayat.
Ayade mahado bhayan.
Repeat after me. Translation by Prabhupada Kijay. In this endeavor, there is no loss or diminution.
In this endeavor, there is no loss or diminution.
And a little advancement on this path can protect one from the most dangerous type of fear.
And a little advancement on the path can protect one from the most dangerous type of fear.
I won't go details, but I'll just explain. This is Krishna is giving a 200 insurance policy here. Now we all get life insurance, but nobody gives insurance beyond this life. Only Krishna can give that insurance. He's telling us in this endeavor, which endeavor in the bhakti process, there's no loss or diminution. No, there's no loss. For example, if you do any service to Krishna, it is written in an eternal account. There's a bank called Eternal Bank. You never heard about that bank, right? We know Bank of America, Wells Fargo Bank, JP Morgan. We know that all these banks are cheaters. But we have one bank called Eternal Bank, that is Krishna's bank. In that Krishna's bank, everybody has an account by default. But the balance in all the accounts is in the negative. The balance in that account is negative. First, you take that negative account to positive account. How it comes? By engaging in Krishna's activity. First, that balance becomes zero, negative to zero. Once it comes to zero, okay, from there, whatever activities performed to Krishna, everything is a plus. For example, you're attending Bhagavad Gita class now, you get plus 5 points, okay? And whether you ask or not, Krishna credits that points into your account. And the beauty of that account is that, for example, you are somehow attended only one class in your lifetime, assume that, and you never got a chance to attend Bhagavad Gita class in your lifetime. But Krishna gives that guarantee. Even one-time attendance, Prabhupada writes in many comments, a person's devotional life begins when they attend even one class on Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam. Your devotional life already started. It means it's just a matter of a time when you are going to finish that. Maybe this lifetime, maybe next 10 lifetimes, but your devotional life has been started. And that 5 points which you attended one class, it will be there in your account. And even in this lifetime, next lifetime, whatever you do extra devotional service to Krishna, added to that 5 points, that 5 points will be never erased from your account. That means whatever amount of devotions you perform in this lifetime, that will be there in an eternal account. Krishna is giving that guarantee 200%. That is the beauty of devotional service. Krishna never cheats you. Okay, Krishna never cheats you. Krishna never under-promises you. If you put one step for Krishna, he puts 10 steps for you. So I just wanted to highlight this shloka. When you have a time, please go and read the translation. Then we'll go to today's shloka. Okay, 642. Is that message clear until now, everyone? Or any questions on that shloka? 240. Okay. Okay. Please ask questions, okay? Okay, now we are going to 642 here. Okay? Repeat after me. Atava yogi nameva kule bhavati dhimatam
Kule bhavati dhimata
etaddi durlabhataram
Edadhi durlabhadaram
loke janmaya idrisham.
Loke janma yadishram.
Anybody would like to chant a shloka? Krishna's words. At least I will explain one Prabhu, one Mataji. Please go ahead. Feel free, folks. These are Krishna's words. You have a better chance, you know. We talk so many times rubbish, but this Krishna's words. Please unmute your mics, come forward and recite shloka. Anyone?
You are sharing screen? Are you sharing screen?
Athva yoginameva kule bhavati.
No, we repeat after it. Athava
Sure.
yoginameva
Kule bhavati dhimatam.
kule bhavati dhimati. Unmute the folks, please. Unmute. Recite the shlokas. Why are you guys muting? Please. Okay.
Itati dullabhartaram.
Edati durlabhadaram.
Loke janma yadidrasham.
Loke janma yadishram.
Anyone else? Please go ahead.
Athva yogi name kule.
Athva
yoginameva
Kule bhavati dhimatam.
kule
kule bhavati dhimatam.
Etadi durlabhataram.
Edati durlabhadaram.
Loke janma yadidrisham.
Loke janma yadishram.
One more person, please. One more person.
Athva yoginameva
Athva yoginameva
kule bhavati dhimatam
kule bhavati dhimatam
etadhi durlabhataram
etadhi durlabhataram
loke janma yadidrisham.
loke janma yadidrisham. Okay, let's me go to the translation. Translation by Prabhupada ki Jai.
Jai.
Repeat after me. Unmute yourself, please. Or if unsuccessful after long practice of yoga,
Or if
unsuccessful long practice of yoga,
he takes his birth in a family of transcendentalists
he takes his birth in a family of transcendentalists
who are surely great in wisdom.
who are surely great in wisdom.
Certainly, such a birth is rare in this world.
Certainly, such a birth is rare in this world.
So, if you go back a little through shlokas, for the Arjuna's questions, Bhagavan is telling what happens to devotees who are advanced in spiritual life, who are just beginners in the life, if they, by whatever means, if they give up the body or if they're not able to get a chance to practice more devotional service by whatever conditions, what happens to them? This is a very, very beautiful question Arjuna putting forth to Krishna. What happens if somebody is not able to complete? And we have seen the supporting shloka in 2.40. Krishna guarantee whatever you do for me is no loss or diminution. That is written on your eternal bank account. Okay, and coming to here, Krishna again reconfirming here, if translated after long practice of yoga, means long of devotional service, he takes birth in a family of transcendentalists, means who are devotees, who are surely great in wisdom about Lord Sri Krishna. Certainly such births are rare in this world because very few people get such type of opportunity. Okay, let's read the purport, what Prabhupada was explaining here, then we'll connect to some other shlokas. Okay, I need two volunteers who can read the purport. Okay, please, any volunteer can read half of the purport first.
The birth in a family of yoga or a transcendentalist, those with a great wisdom, is praised here because the child born in such a family receives a spiritual impulse from the very beginning of his life. It is especially the case in the Acharya or Goswami family. Such family are very learned and devoted by the tradition and training, and thus they become spiritual master. In India, there are many such Acharya family.
Go ahead, Prabhu. Finish it up.
But they have now degenerated due to the insufficient education and the training. By the grace of the Lord, there are still families that fostered transcendentalist generation after generation. It is certainly very fortunate to take the birth in such families. Fortunately, both our spiritual master Om Vishnupadaya Sri Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj and our humble self has the opportunity to take birth in such family. By the grace of the Lord, and both of us were trained in a devotional service of the Lord from the very beginning of our lives. Later on, we met by the order of the transcendental system.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thanks for reading. So beautiful, Prabhupada quotes. No confusion. Okay? Very beautifully, Prabhupada writing here. What happens to the advanced devotees? For example, again, anything could happen to anyone, anytime. Okay, that's what Bhagavatam shloka. What does says? Life is very durlabho manusho deho dehi nam kshana banguram tatrapi durlabham manye vaikunta priyadarshanam. Okay, durlabho manusho deho, very rare to get this human form of life. After 8.4 million species, getting human form is very, very rare. Okay, durlabho manusho dehi nam kshana banguram. What is the value of this life? Kshana. Within 1 second, you can be finished to ashes if Krishna wishes. Right? We have a proud. I have this much bank account. I am a director, DO, CEO, PO. We all claim to be identifying with false identity with so many designations. But we are the finally servant, dasa, dasa, anudasa. That is what we are, and our life is durlavam. Dehi nam kshana banguram. Any moment it can go away. Tatrapi durlabham manye. But rarer than that, Vaikunta Priyadarshanam. The taking the darshan of a pure devotee of the Lord is very, very auspicious. That's what. So that's why this life can be any moment, any time, right? But here, Prabhupada is saying that even though life is anytime, any moment, in case of advanced devotees, when they are not able to finish up their Krishna conscious activity, what happens to them in the next lifetime? We all have these questions, right, lingering in our mind. From time and again, we come back, oh, if I do this, what is the benefit I am getting? Okay, what if I do this? All material activities ceases with this lifetime. If you are if you are going to have a PhD degree in mathematics, okay, you cannot take the same certificate in your next lifetime. They won't allow you. Okay, everything is finished with this body. But only devotional service, that is only to Vishnu and Krishna. Vishnu, remember, again, demigod worship, you do. Again, only end of this lifetime. Nothing carries to next lifetime. Any demigod worship. But only Vishnu Tattva. Rupa Goswami writes, what is that? Apraradnam phalam papam bijam kutam phalonmutam karmaniya palitate Vishnu Bhakti Pratapam. Explains so beautifully that all these bijam kutam, when you take up the devotional service to Krishna, all your sinful actions from life after life will be removed. And your slate becomes so clean when you come to Krishna consciousness. When you take in the time of initiation process, our spiritual master, we sit in the yajna and we have one fruit they ask you to hold. Then after that, you put that fruit into the yajna in the yajna fire. What it means? We are promising, and Krishna is giving energy or spiritual matter. We are burning all our karmas up to that point. Now I am, a servant of the Lord. I want to be very clean. From this onwards, I am going to act on Krishna conscious. I'm changing my identity from bodily identity to the spiritual identity. That is what initiation process is, right? There's a big process, initiation process. That's what you're coming, the servant of the dasa, anudasa at the time of initiation. We're changing our identity. That's why it's called a new birth. Dvija. Dvija means what? One is our parents who have given a birth. as a biological father we have. Okay, we should be thankful to them for giving such a wonderful body. And also, second father, our spiritual master, who is changing our identity from our body identity concept to spiritual identity, is making you a dasa dasa anudasa. That is the meaning of initiation. That's why it's called initiation, means beginning. A lot of people think, okay, I used to chant 6, now I got initiated, I don't have the chant anymore. No. When you get initiation, that's only beginning process of our spiritual journey, real journey, connected to Guru Parampara system. You get the mercy of Guru Parampara system. Okay, so that is how this whole process has been instituted by our senior Vaishnava Acharya so beautifully. Okay, so he's asking birth. So what happened to the advanced yogi transcendentalists if they cannot finish by whatever reason Krishna consciousness activity? What happens to them? So Prabhupada beautifully put in this purport. Look at it. Birth in a family of yogi or transcendentalists, those with great wisdom, in those families you will take a birth. Is praised here because the child born in such a family, receives spiritual impetus. Impetus means force, momentum, from the very beginning of his life. I'll give a small example. What I observed, all our kids who are, I'm just giving you our ISKCON of Central New Jersey. All our kids were exposed to Krishna consciousness when they're at the womb. Some of them are 1 year, 2 years old. I came a little late. My kids were 5 years. My son was 1 years. We came to Krishna consciousness, and they never remember eating, even because I belong to meat eating family. I asked last week. They said, I don't even remember, Daddy, when we ate meat. So I felt so happy. I did not put them into any karmic reactions. But I ate a lot. So what I'm saying is that these kids came to Krishna consciousness age of 1, 2, some of them are in the womb. They are the devotees in the previous lifetime. Okay? They did not finish their credit coursework. They came again into Krishna conscious families where they can easily practice bhakti. Whereas us, especially me, I came in mid 35s, 30, early 30s, I came to Krishna consciousness because so what I'm saying is that each individual entity, living entity, has a journey of the soul. Some start early, some start late. But again, we are all in Krishna consciousness, the good news. So what I'm saying is that kids who are born in Krishna consciousness, they're the devotees in the previous lifetime, that they got early in their lifetime. Now, if these kids come together, they do kirtan, they have fun together, or Krishna, everything Krishna conscious activity. Whereas I didn't have that chance. So what I'm saying is that how soul evolution takes place. Okay, if I finish my lifetime without finishing Krishna consciousness, next lifetime I get a chance to have a parents who are fully Krishna consciousness from the childhood itself. So that is how the evolution of the soul takes place. That is what Prabhupada is very beautifully explaining and giving examples here. Okay, for example, it is especially the case in the Acharyas or Goswamis families. We have Goswamis. Again, not by name. I used to have a colleague, Kupu Goswami. I thought he's a Goswami after coming to Krishna consciousness, but he eats meat left and right. We are not talking about those Goswamis. Goswamis means we have Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj. We have Subhas Parus, spiritual master, I'm forgetting, Jananda Goswami Maharaj. They are Goswamis. So usually in ISKCON, I think when they have family and after family life they call Goswamis. And our Maharajas are there who are never married. So the Goswamis means they are the masters of the senses. They control their senses. The opposite to Goswami is Godas. Godas means we are all Godasas. Even still I am a Godas. If I see some food, I don't care offered or not, I try to eat without offering. So I have that mentality developed life after life. It takes some time to train my mind. But in case of Goswamis, they achieved all those. They control their senses. They become the master of their own senses. Why? Because they are serving the master of the senses, Lord Sri Krishna. So Goswami's family. So if you are fully developed Krishna consciousness, you are not able to complete your coursework for Krishna consciousness, you will be given a chance to take birth in Goswami's families, okay, or Acharya families. For example, Prabhupada took birth in the family, okay, where his mother and father were the devotees of the Lord. And Prabhupada's father, Mohandas, I remember his Mohandas, somebody's his name, Prabhupada's father name, he encouraged him to take the bhakti of Krishna, and he encouraged him to conduct Jagannath Yatra as a small child, making toys with Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra, and going on the streets, etc. So you get that kind of opportunity. When you are advanced in Krishna consciousness, you're not able to finish your coursework. Okay, such families are very learned and devoted by tradition and training, and thus they become spiritual masters. Okay, so that's why Prabhupada became our Acharya. Why? Because he has taken birth in the family of devotees. That's the benefit of taking Krishna consciousness. That's why 2.4 is explained very clearly. There's no loss or diminution. Whatever you acquire in this lifetime, that will be carried over to the next lifetime. Okay. Then in India, there are many such Acharya families, but they have now degenerated due to insufficient education. Okay, so basically, Prabhupada, there are a lot of, but nowadays the tradition is slowly going away. By the grace of the Lord, there are still families that foster and that encourage transcendentalist generation after generation. We have still a lot of families in India. It is certainly very fortunate to take birth in such families. Of course, now what else we need? Taking birth in such families is basically a fortune. Fortunately, both our spiritual master, when he said Prabhupada's spiritual master, Om Vishnupada Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj. We all know that he is the son of Bhakti Vinod Thakur. Bhakti Vinod Thakur is a great devotee of the Lord. He has 11 kids, and he was a 1 second first, let me put light on. Okay, he was the son of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati was the son of Bhakti Vinod Thakur, who had 11 kids. Okay, and Bhakti Saraswati Goswami called Lion Guru. So he took birth in the Bhakti Vinod Thakur mother's womb. He took birth there, and our humble self had the opportunity to take birth in such, and our humble self had the opportunity to take birth in such families. By the grace of the Lord, and both of us were trained in the devotional service of the Lord from the very beginning of our lives. Now, when I see especially kids, our kids, they get together, and when they come, sometimes they come, all I know that there are different groups, age groups. Everybody, all the kids are so beautiful. They meet, first they do is kirtan. I was 3 weeks back, Lakshmi and Krishna Mother, they came, and of course, their age group, different girls, and Lakshmi did a wonderful kirtan. I said, what a kind of thing I expect from these kids, such a beautiful kirtan. I recorded that kirtan. I said, this is the benefit of associating the devotees with the like-minded kids. When they get there, this first do is, okay, let us do kirtan, then they enjoy it. So how their consciousness, their mindset, of course, we have different age group. All the kids are so well trained. There's some competition in doing kirtan also. I feel so happy how these kids have been trained. Prabhupada is putting same here. We give those kids were devoted in the previous lifetime, and they took the especially families where we have a encouragement for the Krishna consciousness. That is what happens. Even if you don't finish in this lifetime, nothing to be worried. Okay? As Prabhupada said, your devotional life has been begun, it's just a matter of time. Okay, maybe this lifetime, next life. It doesn't matter. No? We have best example, the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu doesn't want to see the face of a Mukunda. Mukunda was crying. Then they went and asked Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Mukunda is crying around, because Mukunda was associated with some Mayavadi philosophers, etc. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I'm not going to see him in space. Then Mukunda started crying, and devotees, Ramananda Rai, went and asked him, Mahaprabhu, Mukunda is crying because you're not able to, you don't want to see his face. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, tell him that I'm going to see after 10 million years, something like that. Okay, then they come and tell Mukunda, hey, Mahaprabhu wanted to see you after some million years. Then Mukunda gets up and feels so happy. He says that I have a hope at least Mahaprabhu is going to see me after 10 million times, something like that. So what I'm saying is all here, Krishna consciousness is basically the faith and the faith in the Supreme Personality of Godhead and his teachings. Here, Prabhupada so beautifully putting here, by the grace of the Lord. And both of us were trained, like, Prabhupada also trained, and Bhaktisiddhanta Goswami also trained the devotional service from the very beginning of our lives. Later, we met by the order of transgender system. So, when we have a desire, for example, when we take up Krishna consciousness, we wanted to connect to Krishna, and you have that desire in your heart, Krishna makes arrangements. Okay, I give an example of our Bhagavatam story. Dhruva Maharaj had a intention of acquiring a kingdom greater than his great grandfather, Lord Brahma. He had a physical desire at that point. I want to become, because his stepmother was not allowed. He's not allowed him to sit in the father Uttanapada's lap, etc. All that story. What happened then? He went and he met Narada Muni on the way, and Narada Muni gave a Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. By doing that, he was able to achieve Lord Sri Krishna. After seeing Lord Sri Krishna, he said, "What a fool I am, asking for the great land which has no value. But when I see the Supreme Lord, I want to serve him." And he said that all these material desires are like a broken glass pieces. Okay, so that is what, when we have a desire, okay, later on, when we put the order of the transcendental system. So when you have a desire to serve Krishna, he will connect us somehow to the devotees or the spiritual master. For example, somebody has a desire, I want to get initiated. Just have that desire sincerely. Pray to Prabhupada in front. Prabhupada, I wanted to connect your machine. Prabhupada and Guru Parampara system will arrange a spiritual master by default. How it comes, it's a magic. That is what's called mercy, because, knowing, understanding, these things comes our own intelligence. The mercy comes from Vaishnava without asking. How it comes is a logic. That is what bhakti is. Bhakti is beyond our imagination. Because anya jnana karma, we measure by jnana karma, bhakti doesn't happen that way. Bhakti has its own process that's called karuna. That's mercy of the devotee, mercy of the Lord. That happens, and you will connect to the devotees. Now, if you go to remote places, I want to serve Krishna. Krishna makes arrangements, somehow you will connect to the devotees of the Lord. The only thing is we need to have a desire to serve Krishna. The desire itself is enough for you to connect to Krishna consciousness. Yesterday, the Bhaktiruksha were cooking nice prasadam yesterday. They came 20-25 Bhaktiruksha folks from our Bhaktiruksha. Ajay Prabhu and the Dinesh Prabhu, they coordinated, and they very well cooked prasadam. And they said that they enjoyed doing that one. That is the association, like-minded people in this want to serve the Supreme Lord. The transcendental pleasure comes out of it. That is the beauty of this process. Prabhupada instituted so well. My Guru Maharaj says, Prabhupada has packaged it so well, this system. There's no fault in this system. Only fault is in with us because we don't accept it. So beautifully designed this process. Okay. Yesterday I was hearing my spiritual master class from Colombia. Maharaj in Colombia. There's a big ashram, Shama ashram. They're planning to construct a temple there. He gave a class from there, talking about Balram Leela. How Balram played pleasing Krishna by his actions. How Balram formed Mother Devaki's womb so precious to come Krishna and reside in Mother womb. That's how each. So Balram is the embodiment of gurus. He's a prince of gurus. When you please our gurus, our spiritual masters, Krishna is pleased. Okay, that's what yesterday we celebrated Balram Jayanti before. Because this whole system has been made in such a way that success, there's no question of failure. In IT industry, folks, I have been working for exactly 27 years in IT industry. Okay, and 99% of the projects fail. We all smart people, all IIT folks come together. Nothing is delivered on time. Everywhere is a failure. You tell me you are in the software industry. Nothing, not a single project goes on time. You all agree with me, IT industry folks here? But we have all intelligent people. And we come to bhakti. It's a perfect process, no flaws in it, and implemented. If you implement, your results are bound, sure to come. In the material world, you take up any project, even however best you do, however IIT folks you have, failure is bound to come. But in case of spirituality, Prabhupada has given us a process where there's no question of failure, only failure in our part executing. But if you execute what Prabhupada said, there's no question of failure. Everywhere it is a success. That is what bhakti. That is what this shloka explaining. Hearing these shlokas would enliven our consciousness. Okay, Nothing is going to waste. I have a insurance policy beyond this lifetime, or nobody can give that insurance except Lord Shri Krishna. Okay, I would like to stop here and take the feedback or any suggestions, comments from devotees here. Or any questions would be welcome. Please unmute your. This is the right time. This is where you have to talk more.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dhanam Pranam. All the way to Shri Prabhupada. Prabhuji, one small question about making material endeavors in our daily lives. If we know that we understand and know both that they are failing and they are not going to give us any proper results in the sense like in terms of satisfaction or happiness, we do still contribute a significant amount of time towards those activities, whereas maybe like morning a few hours or maybe evening some kirtan or aarti we do. Generally speaking, not like I'm not speaking for everybody, but I'm just saying the amount in proportion how much we do for material activities versus devotional activities. Or it doesn't go in line with what we are trying to achieve with bhakti. Even though we know, we still put significant amount in material.
Is the question you are asking me, Mataji?
Yes. So we mentioned earlier that we are IT experts and we all know that we are going to fail, but still we are putting so much of time and effort and resources.
Yes. So, yeah, I mean, I quoted that example. What I'm saying is there is a clause in the material activities. But means this world without spirituality, this world is a dvanda. Dvanda means dual nature, happiness, sadness, success, failure, day and night. So I'm not saying they will come. There's a chance that 50% probability they may fail. We all know that. Okay. But as the devotees, how we take that? What is the perception devotees would take is, there is a one shloka in second chapter, right? Param drishtva nivartate. Or one more shloka, what I would say is, nirbandha Krishna sambandha yukta vairagya uchyate, Rupa Goswami. So everything we connect to Krishna. For example, in case of devotees I'm talking, okay? For example, we are all IT teachers. I'm not disappointed when the failure comes in my IT projects. I know it's a dual nature is going to happen. Just accept it. Be happy. But I'm not overwhelmed by the negative results. Because we have knowledge. The knowledge is given, we understand it's going to fail. Because the nature of it passes, that's fine. It fails, also I take it equally, okay, that's fine, we'll just deal with it. I am not overwhelmed, and because I have a knowledge that this world is of a dual nature. That knowledge helps us to understand what this material nature is, and that also gives opportunity that, hey, however hard I work in the material nature, the failures are there. So my ultimate goal is Krishna. I have to focus on Krishna. That gives the knowledge and also intelligence to proceed in our spiritual life. That's why I quoted that one. It's not that, okay, negativity coming, why I have to work. That's not nature. Yeah, we have a body, we have to work, we have to get money, we have to feed our family, our kids. We do work. Failure comes, we'll take. Success comes, we take equally, attribute to Krishna. That should be the acceptance, should be there. That's what I'm saying. Okay? Is that clear, Mataji?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. And it doesn't mean that we are not going to act. We should act. It doesn't matter. We will leave the results to Krishna. Either positive, negative, accept it. Because we have a knowledge that Krishna is a controller, there is no disappointment for us.
Okay.
Yeah. Anybody else on the call have any questions?
Hare Krishna.
Go ahead.
Prabhuji, in the shloka, chapter 2, 40th shloka, Lord Krishna gives mercy, and he says that, okay, you will be doing your bhakti in the next lifespan because you didn't complete your bhakti here. But in this shloka, what you just mentioned, it says that he would be given a spiritual family, family to continue his bhakti. So are these both connected together, like connected in things like 240 and now this 442? He gives, okay, this is the way you will get your bhakti continued in the next lifetime.
No, okay, very good question. If I understand your question, how 240 and this shloka are connected, right?
Yeah, yeah, Prabhuji.
Yeah, see, the beauty of spirituality and Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, any shloka can be connected to anywhere. Okay, that's why it's called Sadhu, Shastra, Guru. These three are the alignment. Sadhu, what devotee says; Shastra, what scriptures refer; Sadhu, Shastra, Guru, what Guru says. They're alignment. Okay, 2.40 Krishna is giving a guarantee that if you start your devotional life, there's no loss or diminution. He said very clear. That is, eternal account becomes positive. That's the first statement he gave. Then next, what he's saying here in advanced level is telling is that, okay, you have started your devotional life, okay, and by chance, if you are not able to complete, what are the consequences? Even consequences of not being complete are also positive, but you are taking birth in the devotee's house. Is that clear?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes.
Because Krishna gave a reason there in the 2.40 what happens when you take up the process. Here he's telling after taking up the process, if something happens, what is the result is being. You got the point clearly, Vimal Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else in the call? Please.
Prabhuji, I have one more question if nobody has.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Who is this?
Yeah, Bimal only, Prabhuji.
So go ahead.
So the next question is like I'm pursuing with my parents with my brother, elder brother, younger brother to come in Krishna conscious, get exposed to scriptures, the Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. But so far, they were in a negative mode, means they were not coming in the Krishna conscious mode. And they are praying to demigods, right? So what I'm trying to understand, Prabhuji, here is somewhere Bhagavad Gita mentioning that, okay, if devotees pray to demigods, will they get next life opportunity to have human life and they can continue their bhakti? Means at that point of time, next life, they may have opportunity for Krishna conscious. I don't know. I'm just asking.
Yeah, it's a good point. It's a very good point. In number of places of the Gita, even Prabhupada writes for less intelligent people take the demigod worship. That's very true. Less intelligent people take the demigod worship. Okay. And second thing comes is, okay, how demigod worship would help them to progress in their bhakti. There are two aspects. One is, for example, a lot of devotees, even I, before coming to Krishna consciousness, I used to go to Sai Baba, okay, and assume that demigods are the parts and parcels of Lord Sri Krishna. And the intention you go to demigod, for example, you do Shiva Puja, Lord Vishnu, Vaishnavana Shambhu, you go to Shambhu, and you go with the intention with Shambhu asking. Other lot of North Indians, they have this Devi Navaratri, they do Durga Puja. Okay, and I always tell them, hey, when you go to demigod worship, okay, have a mood, request demigods, please send me to your master. Please send me to your master. Okay, and when you do that with that mood, when you demigod worship, demigods feels very happy. Hey, this devotee coming is not asking any material benefits, asking me to send to his spiritual. He is my guru, my Ishtadevata, Lord Sri Krishna. They feel happy, and in this lifetime they may get opportunity of connecting to Krishna. But if you go to demigods, the worship of I want this, I want that. If you do you go with your to-do list, I want $1 million in my bank, I want my daughter to get married, I want my son be. If you go with the list, demigods, depending upon their capacity, they may fulfill your desires, but those desires are only for this lifetime. But if you go to demigods with the intention of connecting to Krishna, they will connect to see, demigods are very smart. They have power of connecting to Krishna, or they can give whatever you want. So the more which you go to them, it matters. If you go to them, I wanted to connect your master Krishna, they will definitely connect you, because demigods are the devotees of Krishna. If you go with the material benefits, they give material benefits. You are happy. Oh, मेरे को मिल गया क्या होना ठीक है. चलो, मैं कुछ नहीं चाहिए. $1 million मिल गया. Then you don't know where you end up in the next lifetime. So it all depends. And second question, bringing our own family members Krishna consciousness is always a challenge. Always a challenge. I have a challenge in my life too. Okay, we tried as much as we can try. Okay, sometimes in the families it becomes a negative action. Nobody talks to you, nobody sees you, nobody calls you. We don't want to end up in that situation. We should see the response of the family. Are they willing to accept? It's also not your own effort. Also, they should have mercy of the Lord. They should have enough 5 spirits to Krishna consciousness. Okay, if you have 5 sons to a mother, One can be a Shudra, one can be a Brahmana, one can be a Vaishnava qualities, right? We need to also see their acceptance rate. Are they willing to hear, first of all? If you start Krishna, they run away from that place. In that case, Krishna also says that we should not force anyone by forcefully Krishna consciousness. We need to see, hey, I can tell you with my experience, if I see a person's face, I can tell whether he is really able to accept it or not. By seeing their face, we can see the mode of goodness or mode of ignorance. We can tell that people. Okay, that comes to experience. But what I'm saying is, don't force anyone, first of all. We are not Krishnas. That's how happens in Bhakti Rukshas. First they come, we insist people, chant, chant, chant. No, first form a relationship with them. First become a friend with them. Look at their necessities. Slowly, slowly culture them. Slowly, slowly invite them. Then after that, they do whatever you want them to do it. But in the beginning, if you ask them to whatever they want to, they will run away from the Krishna consciousness. So, and also we should set an example, good in the families. Hey, my son is so good. He gets up morning, he chants. You create that kind of environment in the families. They wanted to talk to you. They want to associate with you. Not scare them so that run away from. Oh, Vimalpa is coming. Oh, he's going to ask me chant. Let me run away from this place. Don't create that hostile environment. That's my experience, and that's what I am following.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Great. Anybody wants to share their experiences? Okay, so Prabhu looks like everybody is convinced now. Right.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for a wonderful class. Thank you so much for a wonderful discussion. Very, very wonderful questions and wonderful answers. Gets more.
I don't know answers are wonderful, but questions are wonderful.
No, answers are also wonderful. Yes. Thank you so much for such a wonderful discussion. In the Bhagavad Gita, it says that Matchida Madgada Prana Bodhayanda Parasma Kadayandisha Mam Nityam Tushandi Jaramanticha. The Mataji brought up that yes, material world is, whatever we do, it is unsuccessful or imperfect or not complete. It always has some kinds of side effects, bad reactions, bad results.
Absolutely.
You will never become happy, but even a little bit, if you do on the Krishna conscious path, is more perfect, more enjoyable, more blissful. And it gives lots of satisfaction, even if little bit you do. It's very powerful. So that's what this says that Bodhi and the person, when we discuss together the topics of Krishna, then naturally we develop the bliss, Tushyandicha and Ramandicha, that we develop blissfulness and the joyfulness, and when we discuss this together. So in the Mahabhagavatam, Kundi Maharani says that when Sri Krishna was about to leave from Hastinapur to Dwaraka back after the Kurukshetra war and everything, Kundi Maharani came and requested and begged at the lotus feet of Krishna. Krishna says that don't leave us. If you don't leave, we can see you always. And if we can see you always means we can always remember you. We always remember you means that there is no more calamities, no more problems, no more, the disappointments, distress. So remembering you, yeah. So there is no distress if you are in our mind, if you remember your Lord. Absolutely. It's exactly like that. So when we remember, when we talk, when we say Krishna, Krishna is there. So Krishna is the absolute, and Krishna is everything. We say Krishna.
One thing I want to add, in the beginning I never said what is absolute. Now I see anything. Why call Krishna absolute? There is no negativity at all.
There is
That's the beauty of absolute.
Completely absolute.
So
completely perfect. Yeah. Krishna means everything.
Absolute, right. Yeah.
So thank you so much. Nice discussion. Yes.
I really enjoyed today.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, devotees. Yeah, go ahead, Mataji.
Prabhuji, I just on this topic, material versus spiritual, I think I just got reminded of few classes earlier. I think we had this discussion, and I don't remember which Prabhuji, but somebody said that it's Krishna conscious is not different. I mean, when you separate your material activities and consider that it's different from spiritual, that's when the conflict in mind
Yes.
happens, and mind acts like boxing. Okay, from
Absolutely.
here to there. So rather, just align your day-to-day activities. It's just a shift of consciousness. So
Absolutely.
Krishna consciousness is to develop that consciousness, that whatever you do, you're doing it for Krishna, right?
Connect to Krishna.
So when we align those two in that way, and we don't separate them out or in isolation, then it's like you are developing in the right spiritual direction. That's what I remember from the past classes. So
Yes, beautiful.
I guess when we say that, okay, all like in, say for example, that helped me because I work in the support field in finance, and then every time some person comes for help, I feel like, okay, it's like, God wants some help, or
Yes.
Krishna is sending this person to help him, so let me help. When your consciousness shifts, you enjoy your work. You don't get if he likes, if he doesn't like, if he's happy, not happy, that's not my thing. I'm
Absolutely.
serving him. So same way, like in my day-to-day activities also, if I'm cooking, if I'm like even educating my kids, if I'm taking them somewhere, I just feel that it's Krishna conscious activity. I'm not perfect, but I'm slowly developing that, because if I take it like as a material activity, I get very much discouraged, that, oh, I'm not doing it up to the mark, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that, but as I mold my mind, train my mind to think like that, it becomes very enjoyable act, So I think we can look at it like that. Just my realization.
No, that's so beautiful, Mata.
So,
That is what everything you're connecting to Krishna. So beautiful that is.
yes,
When everyone else have that kind of attitude connecting to Krishna, as you said, there's no disappointment. Hey, whatever, either positive, negative, is Krishna's decision. I am doing my job, connecting to Krishna. It's such a beautiful, beautiful consciousness, Mataji. Please keep developing that one. That is the way to go. Thank you for sharing that realization. Very
Yeah.
also, I have a question, Prabhuji. If we have a few minutes, I mean, it will be
Go,
quick.
please go
It's
ahead.
just
Yeah.
a basic question. I was just reading in detail the 9 processes of devotional service, right? And what engaging in devotional service means, and the 9 processes. I was able to relate that, okay, in our practical life, or in our in human form of body, I think we are able to do majority of them, but the Padasevanam, right? So there it was, the example was of Lakshmi Devi serving the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu, So,
yes.
But in our human form of body, how we can engage in that service? Is it same as Archanam? Is it same as deity worship, or it's part of it, or?
Okay, maybe. As you want to answer, I can answer to whatever it is. So, Mataji, out of 9 process of devotional service, you don't have to do everything, Mataji. Okay, and see, we don't have opportunity for doing all 9. But first, in Kali Yuga, the 2 strongly recommended process, Shravanam and Kirtanam. Okay, Shravanam means hearing. First, start with hearing process. The hearing process is so powerful. When here, the sound vibration goes through ears and it cleans our heart. Shravanam and Kirtan is the recommended process. Okay, and Archanam, okay, if you see, for example, if you are initiated, you get a chance to serve in the temple. Archanam process, you can do deities, or you can bring deities at home. Even without initiation, also you can bring Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that's not a problem. Okay, so in Kali Yuga, there is no one single which purifies us. That's why in the 2nd chapter, Krishna says, Bahushaka Ihanantasya Buddhinya Vyavasayinam. So we take up Shravanam, because in Kali Yuga nobody is perfect. For example, Shravanam is the Parikshit Maharaj. He perfected, but we don't have that kind of environment, that kind of mental stability in Kali Yuga. So we cannot become 100% Shravanam. We cannot become 100% Father Sevana. So we can take some of all these things, whatever possible. Okay. And that's why Prabhupada has instituted so nicely when you're chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, right? There's a first process, 16 rounds. And following for the great principle elevates your consciousness. Where you don't have to worry, I am doing, I'm not able to do Padasevanam. No, even if you're doing Shravanam, Kirtanam, do utmost consciousness, utmost focus. If you do that, that should be suffice to fulfill. And if you have, but if you develop a particular desire, I want to do Padasevanam, I want to do Archanam. Okay, if you want to Archanam, nothing wrong in that, having that desire. Take initiation, involve in temple activities, or in get deities at home, and dress them, bathe them, do Abhishek. That is also become Archanam. So Prabhupada has given various combinations of doing these activities, but in Kali Yuga, we cannot perfect in only one because we don't have the mental status and we don't have the ability. So we can't carry anything here.
Yeah, I think Mataji's question is, Mataji, is there is a Padasevanam, like when we clean the temple, it's considered as Padasevanam. Mop the temple, clean the temple, picking up the garbage, putting up everything, making sure that everything is arranged nicely. We know that devotees bring the chapels on the front. Jayaprakash will go and pick it up on the and put it on the, the shelf. It's all considered as Padasevanam. So I'm sure that you're already doing it. You're coming to the temple, you're cutting the vegetables, you're sitting there and making sure that it's all cleaned up. It's all considered as Padaseva. So you don't need to worry about that. Yes, you're missing that part.
Yeah, no, I was just confused. I read the later part as well, that not all processes are needed. But I was just wondering, what is the meaning of that and how do we achieve that in this human form of body, but beautiful. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah, in fact, I think all Krishna conscious activities are considered, it covers pretty much all 9 processes of bhakti.
Yeah.
And it is Shravanam is there, that what currently we are doing, Kirtanam, that's glorification that you are currently doing. Smaranam, yes, when we talk here at Soul, Smaranam is there. And Padasevanam, devotional service, which is, yes, you are offering the garlands, yes. Brahmanas does that, they do. But others, those who are making the garlands, right, that's also considered as the, Archanam. Then offer the obeisances. I'm sure that everybody comes to the temple and the deities at the home, we do obeisances. Then Archanam Vandanam Dasyam, as we are always considered as the servitor or Dasa, or the servants of the devotees and servants of the Lord. This is the Dasyam. We are, when devotees say, please do this, please come for this, please do this service for the Lord, for the devotees. That's Dasyam, that's servitorship. Sakhyam, yes, many devotees are actually, considers Lord as friend, as a friendship, and there is always that rasa is there. That rasa become manifest when one, chant nicely and engage in the loving devotional service naturally. This rasa, these 3 malos will come. Tasya, Sakya, then Valsalya, Madhurya. These malos naturally manifest due course of time. Then, Atma Nivedanam, yes. As you mentioned right now, even if you do some work, you take it in your heart that, yes, I'm doing this for Krishna. That is some of Atma Nivedanam. Yes, Krishna is there is a nice words of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. What is the definition of Atma Nivedanam or surrender? If you can read that, it says that, Krishna is the cause of everything. There are 6 ways, is there 6 steps or 6 limbs of surrender. And we can post it into that. If you go that one by one, it takes much time. But just wanted to say that. So pretty much one is in Krishna consciousness is performing all this. And when we chant, when we hear, when we purify our heart enough, sincere devotion and seeing everything in Krishna, and performing everything for the service of Krishna, for the pleasure of Krishna, seeing and considering and talking and thinking and remembrance, all is for the Krishna, then that's what it is. That's the perfection, stage of perfection. So that's what we are all going up to. So thank you so much. Yes, it's wonderful.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Wonderful answer. Thank you.
Rosie, I want to share one realization recently from, again, related to work, but generally people always ask, right? When Monday comes, then they ask, how was your weekend? And they share what they do and what they have done. So when I was asked, and I was telling them, generally I'd say that I volunteer at the place where I visit, and I love the community, and I have a strong faith. So they were like, oh, what is this place? What is it that you do? So I was saying that I serve the blue boy. So they're like, who's blue boy? And I told them, please look for Krishna, Lord Krishna online. So they were like, oh, okay, interesting, quite interesting. And then and when I was sharing this, and they were like, oh, you sound very happy. So that's how I just like mentioned it, so that they at least know who Blue Boy is, because nobody probably will know who Lord Krishna is. So just out of nowhere, it just came Blue Boy.
So nice. Somehow we're planning to connect to Krishna. That's beauty. When, if they see picture of Krishna even one lifetime, that's enough for them to become devotees. That's the beauty of power of Krishna.
Yeah.
So nice.
That's how I just thought that maybe talking about what I did on the weekend, I don't know what else to say.
Actually, we are more happy on weekends than weekdays. Weekdays,
absolutely right. Yeah.
Weekend, you email open, come on, all those. But anyway, no?
My manager actually told today that you are sounding happy. So I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'll always go with problems, and I'll sound like low and dull. And she was saying today that you're sounding happy today.
And we are busy on weekends and weekdays.
Yeah.
So beautiful, Prabhupada has given us so much to do. So we are all blessed actually coming to Krishna consciousness. I don't know. With the Prabhupada writes in some of the purports, we might have done a lot of Ashwamedha yagas to come to Krishna consciousness. Can you believe that? How powerful statement Prabhupada read. Coming to Krishna consciousness, one family to bring, it's not easy. It's not an easy task. If you have convinced you are really precious, doesn't matter you are 1 round, 2 rounds, you are precious, you are great value.
So I just hope that continuing and maintaining and consistency is something that I am hoping and wishing.
Yeah, that's only possible with the association of the devotees. That's a
yes, absolutely right.
Okay, I think is already.
Thank you for welcome. Thank you for wonderful realizations.
Thank you. We all have realizations.
Okay.
Let's conclude.
So much for joining, and as we all know, the biggest festival of the year is coming up. If you have not taken any vacation or any days off, please mark for it. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, maybe at least a week. I hope you all have many days off. Take some of it for now. This is the most needed all the time, and so please come for the services. There are lots of services. We are expecting a lot of people as well this time. There are a lot of cooking, there are lots of cleaning, a lot of kundi jamachin, a lot of setting up arrangements, and so many things. So please contact. We'll put the timelines for the services for the cooking and the cleaning and arrangement and the garlands and the decorations and so many things. Setting up the stalls, setting up the book tables, and so many things. So please engage, and as it always says that we may feel, oh, okay, but it's really purifying. It's really powerful. I mean, it's even if you just put one step for the Krishna, never forget that. So always remember that it's eternal. Devotional service is eternal. It never goes away. Everything else goes. Everything else is temporary or diminished. But this one thing you do is eternal in all the time. Like even if you take trillions of lifetimes, this will be there that you did this for Krishna. That's the science of Krishna consciousness, or science of Krishna. Absolute. Nothing can separate from it. So please do so as much as possible in this human life. We never know what is the expiry date. So please always remember that. But unless and until we come to that point of expiry date, we can do so many things in the devotional service. This is our opportunity. This is the mercy, nothing else. This is the mercy of Krishna that there was always Krishna says, I was every lifetime I look at you that whether you will turn to me. But you disappoint me. This is from the Brihad Bhagavatamrita. Krishna saying, every lifetime I look at the soul whether they will come to me. But when they go away, Krishna is so disappointed. But Krishna says, at the moment they come to me, they do something for me, they think that me, they remember me. I'm so happy, I'm so relieved. So even Krishna is eagerly there waiting for us to turn to him. Eagerly waiting. And rather than us, Krishna is the most pleasing. Krishna is actually so happy that if one person even come and just say Krishna, he'll be so happy. So that's the power of devotion. That's, Krishna is eagerly waiting for it. Please, dear devotees, and this is the most important thing. This is the best thing that ever we can do for Krishna, loving devotional service under him. Anyways, like hearing, chanting, service at the temple, come and so that. Always remember, it's not for the fame, it's not for the name, it's not for the position, it's not for anything. That's all, that's all comes out of our ego. But think about that, you and Krishna is there, and Krishna is the Supreme Lord. And Lord is there in the form of name, his form of, his form, physical form, his form of the service. His Krishna is there. So just come and be with Krishna. That's what it is. Any service we do, that means we are being with Krishna. Chanting the holy name, we are being with Krishna. Hearing, we are being with Krishna. So this is the benefit. So please do that, services. Always come forward. All this hearing, Krishna Kadamrita, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, association of devotees, chanting the holy name, listening, the senior devotees' lectures, and it all purifies. And Krishna will enter more and more. Krishna will come more closer and closer. Then there is always a bondage we create, then we cannot separate from him. And Krishna, more than that, Krishna cannot separate from us. We all can attain him. So that's the purpose of this human. Very valuable. So don't waste anything in this life. It's all, every second is very powerful. Every second is very powerful. Even if we have 1 second, we can attain perfection. If we have that sincere desire for it. So please come forward on this weekend. And the Sunday and Monday is the Janmashtami festival. And also, if as we all know that we are running a temple, lots of expenditure. It's almost close to 25,000 is our expenditure for a month. And this is the year that we all try to collect the funds for Janmashtami. And if you would like to sponsor a Kalash Abhishek or any form, that would be appreciated. And that way, temple can be maintained, the activities of the Lord can be maintained. So please do so. And please join tomorrow as well. I mean, all these days, and as we all know that you're all wonderful devotees. There's no words to express our gratitude, to being with you, all of you, for the association. Thank you so much. So let's conclude today's session, and let's say Haribol to Govardhan Bhakta Prabhu, as well as all the dear devotees. Let's pay our obeisance to all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord. Vancha kalpatarubhasya, Prabha Sindhubhya evacha, Padidanam Pavanebhyo, Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai, Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada,
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
and the Gaudiya Vaishnava
Jai.
Vrinda ki jai. Gaura Premanande,
Jai.
Hari
Hari
Hari.
Hari
Hari
Bol.
Hari.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, Prabhuji, for the wonderful class.
Thank you, Prabhuji.